That
Yeah,
Mavs loss was brutal, man. I remember we were all pissed after that
yeah.
Mavs loss.
We were all pissed.
Shooketh.
It was all bad just a week ago, right? It
You
was
ain't
all
lying.
bad just a week ago. And it's funny. It's funny. Some news came out. Some news came out that the panic button was just about to be smashed because of that Mavs loss. It was rumored that the Knicks has contacted the Raptors about OG Anunoby because of that game. And there were major changes on the horizon. What do you guys think about that?
Glad it didn't happen.
Me too.
I mean, the Raptors front office is notorious for fleecing, and Masai is notorious for fleecing us specifically. And from what I'm hearing, rumors on the interwebs, the asking price is like two or three unprotected picks.
What?
I've even heard as far as a similar package for what Spider. That
Oh,
was the asking price for Danny
bruh.
Ainge. This is what I've heard. So I'm sure that he would have had no discount for the Knicks if we came calling for OG. And I like OG. He's a nice player. I think he's better defensively than RJ, but I'd rather have RJ's contract and RJ's potential, and add the fact that he's a homegrown pick for us than to be sacrificing some of our assets for OG. I'd rather keep a team as is right now. I'm not even looking for any real big trade right now. Let
I
this
agree
team
with
cook.
you. I agree with you. I'm not looking for any big trades at this moment. Um, it's like the chemistry is just starting to come together. You really don't want to do anything to like disrupt that. Especially with anything from the starting unit, really. Like you want to keep that starting unit together and see if they can to grow together and get more assist games and get more chemistry on the defensive end. And really, I really want to see if RJ can start to put together some more games since he's trending upward as well. So I want to see what happens, especially because I said, you know, the efficiency problem from RJ's have been real. It's year 4. I talked about I talked about Kemba Walker being a high value scorer on low efficiency, and he has not put it together. He has not put it together. Until year 4 is when the efficiency met with the value. And this is year 4 for RJ Barrett. It seems like he's starting to trend up. Hopefully by the end of year 4 we'll say, hey, RJ Barrett, he followed the path of Kimball Walker and put it together, and now the numbers are looking the way they're supposed to. But I'm still a little bit worried about the shooting from RJ. I'm not gonna lie, but I'm praying that it gets better.
Yeah. And I want to add one thing about the OG trade because I think at that moment, if the Knicks would have pulled the trigger on that trade, I think that trade would have probably been, what's the term I'm looking for? Like I think at that moment, Knicks fans probably wouldn't have minded the trade because of where the team was at the moment, and a lot of people were
That
pretty much.
price though might have been too high. The
I
price is
know
too high.
the price is kind of crazy, but I think Knicks fans would have probably been okay with the trade just for the simple fact that everybody at that time was screaming for change and things of that nature. But sometimes the best moves are the moves you did not make. And in
Absolutely.
this case, not making that move worked in the Knicks' favor because what happened? After that Dallas loss, Tibbs looked at the team. He was like, okay, I need to make a change. What did Tibbs do? He went to a 9-man rotation, started
Mm-hmm.
playing McBride more, had RJ playing with the first unit and the second unit to probably to become that quote unquote 10th man. And all of a sudden, look where we are right now, 8-game winning streak. So sometimes the best move is the move you don't make.
Well said.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
Well
I
said.
mentioned this before. There was a point in time where Kyle Lowry was on the Houston Rockets. He started to get a little bit momentum. He was known as like a troubled point guard. He gets traded to Toronto Raptors. And the Toronto Raptors and the New York Knicks were in talks, and they was going to trade. I think it was it Shumpert? I think it was going to trade Shumpert and some picks for Kyle Lowry. And right before the trade went down, the Raptors started to go on a run, and Ujiri was like, "Hold on, wait a minute now." Kept it going, and Kyle Lowry has really worked out for that team long term. Next thing you know, a couple of years later, they win the chip with Kawhi Leonard, with Kyle Lowry being, a part of that team. So sometimes, like Ryan said, the best moves you make are the moves that you do not make.